administration part here. So before we going to the topic, let's start discussing about the, so what is HANA, why it is very so important, why it is very speed for the companies, so why they are using, right? So let's talk about the main information about the HANA DB here, right? So HANA is like a in-memory column-oriented relational database management system here. It's a, the main important thing is here in-memory column-oriented, right? In-memory, so column-oriented, so columnar database here, column-oriented, so relational database management system here, right? And also the system is developed by SAP that stores the data in computer main memory instead of disk. It will store the data in memory level. It will store the data. If you compare it to the traditional databases like SQL Server, Oracle, DB2, MaxDB, Sybase, it will store the data in disk format. Disk level, it will store the data. When it comes to the HANA database level, it will store the data in memory level. It will store the data. That is one of the good feature in the HANA database compared to the other. And other databases, they have the rows and columns. But here we have, it is only column oriented tables only. It has only, so column oriented only here. We have only column oriented here, right? So it's only column oriented here. Someone facing the issues with the link. Try from uh, So column oriented columnar database here. So it's developed by, this is the SAP proprietary database. It's not the other like SQL Server by Microsoft, Oracle company. So IBM DB2. It's not like that other. So it's a developer by SAP only here. The initial release of the this HANA database happened in the 2010, right? So now the latest release, they have done it in the, so this the latest release, so the release version, that is the SAP HANA 2.0 SP08. That is the latest stable release version SAP released into the market here, right? So, and also this is developed using the C++ language, right? It's a C++ language. They have used the HANA database. So it's a, they have used the C++ language here, in memory column oriented relational database management system developed and marketed by SAP. Okay. They have developed and marketed by SAP SC here. So the primary function of the database is to store the data, retrieve the data as requested by the applications here, right? So store the data and retrieve the data. Applications will store the data. Applications will retrieve the data from the database level here, right? That is the primary functions of the database here, right? So this HANA can run only on the Linux platform only. It won't support the Windows platform. It will only support the Linux platform only here. So it's a type is like a, it's a multi-modal database. It's a multi-modal database here. Multi-modal database. The primary function to store the data, retrieve the data, and it's a multi-modal database here. So one of the great functionality in the multi-modal is, so it is not only storing the, so real-time data, means it will store the data in the, so OLAP plus OLTP transactions, both will be in the HANA DB. Both will be in the HANA database here, right? So means online analytical processing, online transactional processing, means live data, historical data, both will be in the one common database, that is called the in-memory database called the HANA database here. So first of all, Why they have named it as the HANA means the abbreviation of the HANA is like a high performance, right? Analytical appliance here. High performance. It's a analytic appliance here. Appliance, right? High performance analytical appliance here, right? So this is the H and ANA. ANA here. HANA. Okay, high performance analytical appliance here. So this way your HANA database, they have named it as the HANA database here, high performance analytical appliance here, right? So why? Because it combines the not only just to storing the data here, they are the application server capabilities. So it's not only like OLTP transactions, OLAP transactions. It has also data processing engines. There are the data processing engines also available, as well as the data processing engines, as well as the you have the application server capabilities. Application server capabilities also included. That's why HANA is just not a database. It combines the some of the applications, some access related applications also we can build it using this HANA database here. It's not a just platform, it's a platform used for just running the on top of we can run the S4 HANA applications, right? Some real-time analytics we can also use it here. Why? Because all the data is storing into the database level. It will provide the real-time analytics and the data integration, and also the machine learning related applications also, we can run it in the HANA database level here. Machine learning applications we can run it here, right? So it's included the all the features in a single pack. We want to use the DB database, some capabilities, some real-time analytics, many functionalities we can include in the HANA database level here. So this HANA architecture, this build to process the both, as I mentioned here, OLAP and OLTP. So it will process the with workloads on the same system. Normally in one database, either OLAP or OLTP possible. Both are not in the one database. But with introduction of the HANA, they have both. You can simultaneously store the data. Workloads, you can store the data in the same system here. So some of the other databases effectively it won't store the data, but in this HANA databases, it will store the data here, right? That is the main important thing here. Sir, why the speed is very important? Why the customers are many customers are moving to the HANA database level? So why? The speed, why HANA is so fast means the speed of the HANA comes from the innovative architecture, means the in-memory architecture, the design choices. So that is the main important thing. Main feature is the, so why so fast? If I talk about why HANA is so fast compared to the other databases to retrieve the data from the database level, why HANA is very so fast here? What is the main advantages here? Which means in-memory storage. In memory, this is one of the feature, right? So data is kept into the RAM, not on the disk. To eliminating the disk IO delays and everything, so all the data is kept in the RAM, not on the disk format level here, not on the disk format level. That is the main important thing is like a, so HANA is fast here, right? And also column oriented, columnar, columnar data. Columnar data means data is stored in the column wise to improve the compression, making the aggregation queries, the lighting the fast and everything. The data storing into the columnar way. But other databases, it will store the data into the row store and the column store level, right? So a row store and column store level. But here, this is only, it will store the data columnar way, columnar tables, which means it is very improvement for the performance queries and everything here. And also the data compression. Data will be compressed. Compressed means 2 GB data. If you zip it out, what will happen? Zip or 7 zip, it will zip the data size to the 2 GB to maybe 1 GB, something like that, right? So compression, which means inbuilt they have the compression factor. It will reduce the data compression by 10x using the encoding and compression algorithms. They are the inbuilt techniques, encoding and the run length compression algorithms are there. Using this one, your data will be reduced. Reduce the data footprint here. If the 2 GB, 4 GB, some 6 GB, 7 GB data coming to the database level, the same data will not be saved. It will be compressed. Maybe 7 GB data come to the database level means, so 3.5 GB, 3.6 GB data will be stored. Remaining data will be compressed format. So which means it's a data in the compressed format. Easily you can retrieve the data from the database level here. And also they have the some parallel processing in the database level. It's possible to parallel processing option here. In the database level, we have the parallel, parallel, parallel processing techniques are there here. Parallel processing technique. Parallel processing technique means uses the all available CPU core simultaneously to process the data. Something you required the data. Suppose in a classroom, you have the 30 members are there. Suppose you required the some item you required, all 30 members will help you to get the data. It will speedily you will get the data will be processed. But in 30 members data, only one process is searching for your thing, then it will take time, right? So parallel processing means all the available CPU cores simultaneously, it will process the data here. That is called the parallel processing here. And also elimination of the aggregates here. So why? Because aggregation, no aggregation here, right? So no aggregation here. Aggregation means, so aggregates means here, HANA will calculate the results on fly. No need to pre-store the data into the aggregates and everything on fly. That's why HANA is very fast. On fly, we can make the business decision. Why? Because it has the inbuilt features like parallel processing, no aggregates, data compression, columnar way. So these all are the, so all are the very important here. And also it's a multi-core, multi-host scalability. We can install the one HANA database in the multiple servers also, multiple nodes also. We can install it here. That's why it's a multi-core, multi-core and multi-host here, multi-host. So the traditional DB database, it is a disk database and row store wise. But HANA in-memory column-oriented parallel milliseconds, within fraction of milliseconds, you can grab the data from the database level. Instead of minutes, in the milliseconds, you will get the data from the database level. That's why HANA is very fastest here. HANA is very fast here. Stores the data in the computer in memory instead of disk. This architecture enables to process the transactions, run the advanced analytics with the zero latency without any delay. Fast data access, you can real-time data, you can access it here. Real-time data, you can access it here, right? So that is the main advantage of the HANA database here. It's a build on C++ language, right? In-memory database, it runs only on the Linux platform. Database can be installed on the multiple host. It's one of the very fast database due to the all the data loaded into the main memory. No need to load the data in the CPU or anything here, right? The purpose is like a OLAP and OLTP transactions in the single database here. Single database, it will store the data and there is a compression techniques will be available so that when the storing the data, the compression factor will be applied. The compression factors will be applied in the database level here, right? So high performance, the abbreviation of the HANA is like a high performance analytical appliance. It's a combination of the software and hardware platform here, right? Class software and hardware platform here, right? So which means HANA, when it comes to the software, the row store, column store, compression, so no aggregate and partitioning, this kind of. What about the combination of the HANA is like a combination of the software and hardware innovations. Hardware side, which means a multi-core architecture here. Hardware side here, this is a multi-core architecture here. Multi-core architecture. And also it's a 64-bit address space only. The version 64-bit address space. It's improved the pricing and performance and everything here. It's a multi-core architecture, 64-bit address space. Its parallel processing is enabled so that you will not wait for the data until fraction of seconds and minutes, seconds to hour. Why? Because in the HANA, within fraction of milliseconds, you will grab the data from the HANA database level here. Within fraction of seconds, it will grab the database from the milliseconds here. So there are two types of relational data stores, row store and column store here, right? HANA mainly column oriented database only here. HANA is only mainly for the column oriented columnar database only here, right? So HANA, so coming to the, so these are all the advantages why so fast versions and all the history. But in HANA, SAP provides different editions, how we want to use the HANA. They have the different editions are available in the market. Suppose like if you want to watch the one movie in the online, YouTube, you have the platform, right? OTT platforms also available, right? So same movie, OTT platforms, YouTube also. YouTube, you will get the more, some more like some advertisements, but OTT platforms, so you will not get the, you will some OTT platforms, you will get the some advertisements, some platforms not. So, but movie concept is same, but so there are the some editions are same. HANA is same, but so they have released into the some editions here. The first edition, we will call it as the HANA platform edition here. Platform edition here. The platform edition means here it's a core database platform for building the custom applications used by developers and integration. So the core is common for every either platform edition, HANA enterprise edition, HANA. So extended enterprise edition here, extended enterprise edition, right? So the core is common here, HANA. So express edition, this is the free edition, actually express edition. The fifth one, HANA cloud. In the cloud also we have the one more DB as a service based concept is called the HANA cloud here. What is meant by HANA platform edition here? The core database platform for building the so custom applications mainly. If any custom, not only database, if you want some customized applications also, you want to build it using the HANA, the platform edition, you can use it here. Platform edition. So platform edition, you can use it here. That's what we can do that one here, right? So then enterprise edition here. It includes some edition data integration, replication, data models, and everything. Yeah, some more functions. Core is common. Core means DB, client, add-ons, plus plugins. This is the common. Okay, common for everywhere. This is also common. This is a common additional functionalities, features here, right? That is the main. So extended enterprise edition. Enterprise edition is mainly for the additionally data integration, replication data models, data integration and replication data models here. What about the extended enterprise edition here? Run to use it to run the SAP applications, S4HANA only. So only S4HANA applications you want to run it, you can use in this license, you can use the S4HANA plus HANA database also here. Express edition, which is like a free. This is the free actually. Express Edition is the free HANA software here. Okay, free, lightweight version for the developers and the learners. So can run on the laptops, 32 GB, 28 GB laptops also. You can run it Express Edition here. So cloud is like a fully managed by cloud-based version in the BTP. In the BTP, we have the one more DB as a service-based concept is called the DB as a service is called the cloud SAP S4 HANA, sorry, SAP HANA Cloud Edition also available here. It's a fully managed cloud-based version running on the BTP side here. These are the editions SAP released into the market here. Okay, these are the editions are available. Okay, so coming to the so coming to the HANA can be deployment options here. Let's use the some of the deployment options here, right? How can deployment means installation option here. You can deploy the HANA on the on-prem HANA application, maybe installed on the customer data center on the certified hardware vendor. Certified hardware vendors here on-prem. And also, you can also install on the data on the cloud. So cloud means BTP. In the BTP, HANA cloud, you can install it here. That you will get the DB as a service. And also, HANA enterprise, HANA enterprise cloud. So HEC, HANA Enterprise Cloud here, HCC here, right? SAP managed private cloud environment here, SAP managed private cloud environment here, HANA cloud here, right? This is the deployment option here. And also TDI, tailored data center integration installed on the customer chosen hardware that meets the SAP specifications and everything here. So these are the deployment options here, which means customer data centers, customer premises in the cloud level, HEC level. So multiple deployment options we can use. We can install the HANA database level here, right? That is the main important thing here. Okay. So then some of the let's see the some of the real-time use cases here. Sir, exactly where the HANA database will be using here. Normally, every SAP application is required the database. That database either ECC, S4HANA, so S4HANA, ECC, CRM, SRM, any SAP system database is required. That database we will call it as the HANA database here, right? So normally the S4HANA ERP, the finance side, real-time finance, logistics, procurement side, right? Data warehousing side, and also forecasting, predictive analysis. There is a forecasting also possible here, insights forecasting, right? So big data integration, sensors, right? Business data, custom applications. There are many things are there here. We can use it here, right? So parallel processing, both will be milliseconds it will take. So it RAM and SSD. So it's a real-time data analytics, real-time data will be stored. So HANA means simply we can say like SAP HANA means simply the speed plus simplicity, speed and simplicity, and the real-time insights, insights real-time insights. We can single platform for the transactions, analytics, and also applications powered by the all are in the in-memory computing here. Powered by the in-memory computing here. All will be in the one single platform that is called the HANA database here. It's a multi-core architecture. So within fraction of milliseconds, we can use the HANA database to build the means to get the data can be retrieved. A fraction of milliseconds, data will be retrieved here, right? That is the HANA database here, right? In 2010, SAP is the first release of the HANA database happened here. 2010 first release. It's SAP proprietary commercial software here. It's SAP proprietary commercial software. It is available in the English. The operating system is the Linux platform, right? So which means it's not the free. to use the softwares. Free software is like a, so you can see the, so enterprise, so express edition that you can use it for the learning purpose. But to business purpose, you should use the commercial software only. We have to use it here. Commercial softwares we have to use it here. That is the main important stuff about the HANA database here. Okay, so it's a the mainly data storing into the compressed in the columnar way. It is storing the database here, right? So here the main thing is the, so sizing, how to get the sizing here, sizing calculation here, HANA sizing, how to do the sizing of the HANA database, which means, sir, how much RAM is required, how much memory is required, storage is required, how many CPUs are required, what are the operating systems, and all those things we need to check it out, right? So in that case, so we need to use the speed, simplicity, and so why we are getting this kind of features means, so we need to have the hardware also. If you don't install the HANA in the certified hardware vendors, then definitely it is not that much of speed. Definitely that is not that much of speed here, right? So it's that is the main advantages of the HANA database. What is HANA? Suppose example, if you see the, so one diagram how the data will be retrieved here. So if you see, normally this is a CPU, memory, and disk storage here, right? So normally other databases, CPU, memory, disk. So other databases, first request will go to the CPUs, right? CPUs to the main memory, then memory to RAM to, and disk level. It will go to the disk level. It will search the data. Where is your data? Where is your data? Then it will pick up the data. It will hand over to the users, right? At the same time, if it is the HANA database, your CPU concept is CPU only, but in the main memory concept, main memory only. Inside the main memory, the data is storing here. The data is storing into the inside of the main memory here. So that, so it means the data is here only. So instead of going to the data disk level, storing the getting the data, so CPU, the first request, any request will go to the CPU, CPU to main memory. In the main memory itself, all the data is storing, right? In the main memory itself, all the data is getting stored. So you no need to wait for the couple of minutes to hours, right? Why? Because here request should go to the CPU to main memory to disk, data disk level data is in the disk, C drive or D drive, E drive. It will take time to grab the data and everything. It will provide the result. But if the data is in the already in the main memory, within fraction of milliseconds, you will get grab the data from the main memory. It is no need to go to the disk level, just data storing into the main memory itself. So HANA is useful as very fast due to the all the data loaded into the memory. No need to load the data from the disk and everything. It can be used for purpose of analytical processing and online transactional processing into the single database here. That is the reason it's a no need to wait, travel to the request to the main memory to disk to again come to the main memory. So we are saving this much of time. That's a HANA is one of the fastest database. So it will be fastest database to grab the data from the database level. Yeah. Right. So that is the main advantage of the HANA database here. Okay. And coming to the what is required, what is required to install the database here, what is required. Okay, so to install the HANA database, first of all we should meet the, so hardware, software requirement and hardware requirement here. So software requirement means to install the HANA database, you require the HANA DB software, HANA Studio, add-ons and plugins are the optional that we can download from the service.com, me.sap.com, we can download it. But what about the sizing? HANA sizing here. HANA sizing. Why? Because so we need to know the sizing. How much sizing is required for HANA database here? HANA sizing. So sizing means what? What is mean by sizing? To calculate the resources, hardware resources here. Sizing the how much hardware like CPU, memory, storage, network is required to run the SAP HANA database efficiently based upon the data volumes, growth, projections, workload, all those factors will be influenced for sizing. The purpose of the sizing is sufficient RAM memory, CPU power, storage for the data processing, and also scalability for the future growth and everything here. So RAM is the key driver for actual data must be fit into the memory here, right? So sizing means so they are the main types of HANA sizing depending upon your scenario, which means you are installing the new HANA system here that no legacy data, new HANA system, then you can use the that normally we will call it as the greenfield sizing. Normally we will call it as the greenfield sizing here. Using the tool SAP Quick Sizer, SAP Quick Sizer tool, you can use it. Quick Sizer tool. We can calculate the sizing here or so normal t-shirt sizing method. T-shirt sizing method we can use it here. Next one is the migration based migration based sizing, which means already existing system is on the non-HANA databases. We can migrate non-HANA databases to HANA using the so migration based sizing here, migration, right? This normally we use the ABAP report. Why? Because already system is there. Then we can use the some ABAP report in SA38. We can run the ABAP report slash HDF slash HDB underscore the sizing report. We can use it to get the how much DB means how much memory is required for the HANA database. You will come to know by executing this report in SA38 migration based here. Okay. The next one is called the delta sizing here, right? So quick sizer tool, normally both. One is the greenfield sizing, which means fresh installation, new HANA system using the SAP quick sizer tool or t-shirt sizing. Or existing system you are migrating to the HANA, which means you can use the ABAP report. You can use it in SA38 SAP level. You can migrate the data here. The key parameters in the sizing is here the current database size, GB or TB. The compression ratio in the HANA database is smaller than like 10x compression ratio maximum here. Working set, system overloads, future growth, and also these are all the things we need to calculate it to get the sizing here, footprint and everything here, right? That is the tools we have to use it, and this is a report we have to use it. Based on that, you will come to know the RAM, CPU, main memory. RAM means main memory only, CPU and storage. You will get it out here. All the storage and everything you will get it out here, right? So that is the main purpose of the sizing here. HANA is the not only the memory is the main important thing here. Memory is the king in the HANA sizing. Sizing level main king is the HANA memory. Always include the growth and overheads and use the reports. And we need to use the certified hardware vendors only. To install the HANA database, we need to use the certified hardware vendors. Right? Certified hardware vendors means we have the so HP, Dell, Lenovo, Fujitsu, which is and all the certified hardware vendors. You can also get the certified hardware vendors from the so site also here. So maybe if you go to the certified So here you can see the certified hardware vendors. See here, certified hardware vendors. Cisco, EMC, Google, so Infinibit. So newly added this one. EMC, Cisco, Fujitsu Data Center, HP, Hitachi, Lenovo, so Dell, Atos. These are all certified hardware vendors here. So based upon the CPU, based upon the memory, we have the 32 TB up to 32 TB. We can support it, right? So there are the 32 TB terabytes of RAM slots are available by providing the vendors, right? Hardware vendors. We can use your preferred hardware vendor to install the HANA for the hardware perspective. We can use GCP, cloud, all those things. You can perform it here. Certified hardware vendors, you can use it here. That's the main important thing here. Okay. So these are the certified hardware vendors here. So hardware, HANA hardware certification at point of time purchase. See here. HANA. Okay. So these are the sizing. We can use the quick sizer tool, t-shirt mail. We will use the quick sizer tool or t-shirt sizing method also. I will explain it how to calculate and report also. We can schedule it how to calculate for the migrations and everything. Right. So HANA, when the 2010, they have first released the 1.0 SPS 01, they have released it. Then after that 02, 03, 04 up to HANA 1.0 SPS 12. That is the last version they have released into the 1.0. After that, they have changed their architecture to the HANA 2.0. Then now HANA 2.0 SPS 012. So SPS 08 is the latest version SAP released into the market here. So 1.0, the 1.0 SPS 12 is the latest. Then in the here, the latest is the SPS 08 is the latest here. Currently, SAP is not supporting the HANA 1.0 SPS 12, the version databases here. This version databases SAP is not supporting here, right? So only HANA 2.0, 01, 02, 03, 04, 5, 6, 7, 8, SPS 08, it is supporting here. SPS 08, this is supporting here. Okay. That is the main important thing here, right? So this is the latest version. So we will also install the latest version, or we will install the N-1 SPS 07 upgrade to the SPS 08. So that is also possible. So like latest version, we can take it out. We can do the installation of the HANA databases and everything here, right? So basically, the today's session is mainly for the high level introduction about the HANA, the use cases, right? And why it is so fast, why it is important, and versions about the HANA database, right? So that is the main important thing about the HANA, right? So in the after that, the next class, so what are sizing, HANA sizing here, hardware sizing, how to calculate the RAM, right? So hardware requirement here. Then softwares, downloading the softwares. Then why SAP released the HANA 1.0 and 2.0, the differences. What is the main concepts SAP included in the 1.0 and 2.0 here, right? So we'll discuss about the differences. We'll discuss about the HANA processes. We'll discuss about the HANA, so installation prerequisites, installations, and those things in coming classes we can discuss it out. Okay, is it the main memory? HANA is mainly for the main memory based requirement here. Okay. So that's it for today. Why? Because small introduction only. Why? Because what is the time? Okay, we have 15 minutes left, but still that's fine. Tomorrow onwards we'll go with the actual class. Like this is also main important class only, but this is a high level. What is HANA and why it is important and that kind of some overview. Then we'll go with the tomorrow some architecture wise. What are the process? How to install installation topic first. Like that we'll go one by one, one by one. Okay. Any questions, anyone?
Sir, how many classes we are going to contribute for HANA?
25 maximum. 25 to 26 or 30. 25. You can make it 25.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, I had a doubt. So you have mentioned that data will be in compressed state in the disk level, right? So if
Right.